From Belgrade, Serbia, we'll get back to the heart of Stavanger and the public market square. Halvor Næss is owner and chief designer of a small lighting design company based in southern Norway. He has over 20 years of experience in the lighting business and the last 10 years in his own company, specialized in architectural lighting design, both outdoor and indoor. I joined lighting designer Halvor on a little trip to bring us into his sphere of non-traditional lighting design. Take a look at this. Halvor, welcome to Stavanger.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be back here?
It's always nice to be in Stavanger. We have, especially here in Vågen, where I've done this lighting project.
You have done this great job by lightening up this fantastic place.
Yes.
That we are very proud of.
Thank you.
I am very lucky to be here with you and to hear the story about your thinking of this lighting project. But I was wondering, who are you basically? Halvor Næss.
Halvor Næss.
Lighting designer.
I'm a lighting designer from Oslo. I've been working in the lighting business since '97, and for the last 10 years in my own company. With my colleague Marlin Martinsen. She is also a lighting designer, and I have electrotechnical background, so I also I focus on designing lighting projects that's also easy to install. Yes.
Yeah. I know you like Stavanger very much and that you were surfing the waves here in the 80s.
That's back in the 80s.
Okay.
Yes, that's back in the 80s. But yes, that's correct. I lived there for a couple of years. Worked in the North Sea and ride the waves at Jæren.
Yes, beautiful Jæren. But you mentioned you've had several projects. Is projects like this something you do a lot of?
No, there is not a lot of this kind of project, but we have done a few. One here in Stavanger. We have also a project in Breiavannet, south of Stavanger, called the Kaiser's Torg. It's interactive lighting design that actually is a tribute to the Kaiser Orchestra rock band.
Yeah. You might get back to that.
Yes, I can get back to that.
But now we're doing something special. We're going to a very narrow street,
yes.
Which is famous for us who live in Stavanger. And it's famous because people in the dark on their way home after drinks and fun.
Used to. Yes.
If they had to take a pee.
Yes, they did it there.
They did it there.
Yes.
So that's why this lighting project is important, especially for this narrow street.
It's a part of the safety aspect about the lighting project. It was a very dark alley, used as a toilet at night time. So we did some new lighting there, but we kept also the historical lighting in the alley.
Would you like to join me on a trip to look at all these beautiful lights?
Yes, let's do it.
So this is the narrow street we were talking about.
Yes.
This used to be a very dark street.
Scary, dark street. We decided to keep the historical lamps, and we needed more light on the street floor. So we hid some small fittings up on high on the wall that makes this pattern, and making the illusion that it's the historical lamps that actually makes the light in the alley.
But you actually don't recognize or see the small lights. You see these two historical lamps. And this is probably a part of the solution.
Yes, and we are very fond of using very shielded light, that we are not so fond of seeing the light source. We want to see the effect of the lights, and we see that on the ground here.
The way you work with light is also a way of make the security better. in cities. Is this a good example of how light is being used for that purpose?
Yes, you can say that. We make a good light design, and we get rid of the dark, scary places. But we also design darkness. We like to have the balance between light and dark to get and make an environment in the public space that's safe. Yes.
Yeah. We'll get back to that.
We'll get back to that.
We're now standing at the corner of the city square, and just beside us here is a great stone. What can you tell us about this one?
This stone is actually a tide bell.
A tide bell?
A tide bell. It runs a pipe from here out to the sea. And at high tide, it should make a noise.
Okay, so
yes.
When the tide water
comes
in, up here,
it makes a noise. Yes.
What kind of noise is it?
Like a bell.
Ah.
Like a bell. And this is a very heavy stone, and we would like it lighting sign-wise. We want to make it light and floating. And we have done this with this stone and all the granite.
The granite benches.
Granite
over
benches,
there.
Yes.
Exactly.
And it's the same philosophy. You don't see the light source, you only see the light hitting the surface.
Have you experienced if this is working? Is people actually sitting down when they see a bench like this?
In my philosophy, you don't want to sit on a bench that's lit from above, because then everybody sees you and you see no one. But if someone has been sitting on the bench, you can see from here that someone's sitting there, but it's a private sphere. You can be private, and you can see that someone there, but you don't see who it is.
So the private sphere is the most important thing, to keep that.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the spotlight when you're sitting on the bench on the square.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What else can we see from this corner of the square?
Yeah, you can see the 5 poles, special made poles, extra rigid to take care of the wind. It's very windy here in Stavanger.
It is,
and
especially at this place.
Yes, and we have 20 gobo projectors carrying each 6 gobos, and so we have a total of 121 gobos in this installation.
What does that mean? The 121 gobos?
That we have the possibility to change the pattern. We will talk more about the pattern when we get up there, but we have 6 different patterns in each projector, and a combination of that is endless, actually.
Yeah. What kind of thoughts have you been doing when you were to decide what kind of gobos we were to have at this square?
We tried to find some links to the local community.
Yeah.
As you see now,
it's fish.
It's fish. It's
Yeah.
herring.
Uh-huh.
And because of the wind, you see the herring is swimming towards the sea. We have also autumn leaves. We have winter snow crystals. We have stars, bubbles, a lot of things. And also we have a party mode.
A party mode.
A party mode.
When it comes to security, do you also have the possibility to light up the whole area?
Yes.
Yes.
The program is prepared for the police, so the police can send a text message to the system, and all the fittings are going in white color and on 100%. And that can be necessary in the weekends. A lot of people, and they want to clear the square, and then you have no more decorative light. It's only a safety light. Yes.
So these 5 poles can do quite a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
It's, and some nice blue decorative tops.
This is your signature.
Yes, I
These
like to add some blue light in my projects. Yes.
Do you think that when people come visiting places that you have been, Can they recognize you by something like this?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But,
Might be.
but my
Okay.
my colleague has a favorite color, pink, and she has birthday the 28th of May, and a lot of our projects automatically 1 hour in the evening on 28th of May turn pink.
Wow.
That's a secret, so don't tell
That's
anyone.
a secret.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Should we move over there? Halvor, what
Yeah.
can you tell us about this bench we're sitting on?
I've been told that it's the longest bench in Stavanger, and has a very sculptural form. And very early in the process, I said we have to lit this from inside, and you see it from distance now. It's like a sculpture at night, and it goes straight down to our philosophy. That's it. To emphasize good architecture with good lighting, to make good environment spaces, both indoor and outdoor, and have focus on the well-being for the users and the people that use the square and everything. Yes.
But you mentioned it was someone who used to create boats?
Yes, it's
Who
actually
built this bench?
It's built by a Norwegian boat builder.
Yeah.
So you can see that it's cut out of serious, large wood and curved, and it's very nice actually.
You've lit this bench from inside out.
Yes.
Was that the only way to do it?
No, for me it's the right way to do it because then, as I said earlier, now you sit on the bench that's lit. Everybody can see that we are sitting here, but you don't feel in the spotlight. But we have our private room here without a spotlight from above. Yes.
Do you think about these things when you walk around in your city and other cities?
When you work with light, you always think of this. What would I have done here?
Yeah.
Is this good? Is it bad? Could this have been done better? And that's kind of an illness, but it's a good kind of illness, I think.
But what you're saying is that light means so much more than to lit things. It has something to do with how you feel.
Yes, a good light design, you should not think of the light. You should just feel the atmosphere, that the atmosphere is good. You have no glare, you can see everything, you can see the lit surfaces. And I'm not too fond of seeing the light source. I want to see what the light is doing.
Could you also, are you talking about lightening up the dark?
Yes, we light up the dark, but we also create darkness.
Create darkness?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
That we can have areas in, for instance, the square. You see, it's not lit everywhere, but it's the parameter of the square is lit, so you can see everything that's happened from here to the other end of the perimeter of the square, and then you feel safe. It's not a football stadium where you have to see everything. Here you see enough.
Is it something that you're particularly proud of with this square in Stavanger?
Particularly proud of the square. Actually, I'm proud of the municipality of Stavanger that let us do it.
Yes.
Because it was kind of a tall order the first time we said we want to do this. It's never been done before. It was at its time the biggest project with a lot of Google projectors outdoor in Norway. So we are very proud of that we actually got to do this.
Yeah. Regarding the weather conditions we have in Stavanger,
Yes.
windy, a lot of rain.
Yes.
Was that extra difficult to
Yeah.
do this project?
And it has been challenges because you also have the cold and wind factor. So when it's cold and windy, it gets very cold. And we have the movements of the gobos in the wind. We need to make the special poles. We need to have everything should be proof for salty water. It's been some challenges. We just solved one by one.
You've been doing good.
Thank you.
The fact that the light poles is quite tall,
Yes.
was that a necessary thing that they have to be that tall?
Yeah, because if we have a shorter poles, we would have a much flat, a more flat light angle.
Okay, yeah.
And,
So you had to.
So the higher the pole, the more vertical we can have the light.
Okay.
And with more vertical light, you have less glare and you have a higher visual comfort. That's actually one of our main philosophy is to create visual comfort. And you see the herring is swimming towards the sea.
Yes, I see it very well. Stavanger is famous for the herring.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Halvor, now we're standing in front of a drain gutter. What is the purpose of this and why is it lit up?
Oh, we actually made this fitting to prevent people from stumbling. So we made a fitting that follows the curve of the rain gutter. It's recessed in the granite and it's made vandal-proof. So it should retain everything, trucks and cars and bikes and salty water.
But looking at this and the others, it's quite nice when you see those lights.
It also have a decorative effect.
This is
But
of
the
course,
main purpose is to keep people from stumbling.
Do you have any stories of people who actually stumbled?
Yes, we have a story about our Queen, Her Majesty's Queen Sonja, that stumbled in these drain gutters in one occasion. Now it's more stumble-proof.
This statue is the famous Mr. Alexander Shalom. And the light at Mr. Shalom is very special. What can you tell us about this?
Yes, you asked me earlier today if it's something I was particularly proud of this project, and it has to be this lighting. We have done this with a gobo. The gobo is placed there, 65 meters away from the sculpture. Nobody can actually see where the light comes from. So we made the gobo very precisely, just outlining the sculpture. And actually the most spectacular thing about this lighting is the backside. It's the shadow
It's the shadow.
of Alexander Kielland.
Can we go and look at it?
Yes. Okay, so here you can see the shadow of Kielland. A perfect outline of the silhouette of Kielland.
It's fantastic.
With
very-
no glare.
Very nice. But what is actually the purpose of lighting?
Remember this. Without light there is nothing.
That's very poetic.
Thank you.
Mr. Shalom has the perfect view. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
But what is it about this view that is so nice?
Now, from here you can see the parameter of the city square. Kielland can look down on the famous other sculpture at the square, Reka,
Reka, the shrimp.
the shrimp. And you can also, from here, see that shrimp is lit, but you cannot see where it's lit from. And that's
The secret of lighting.
the secret of light.
Now we've moved from the city square over to what we call Tivolifjellet in Norwegian.
Yes.
But in English, it's called amusement park. Do you know why?
I think about 100 years ago, this area was used for recreation and dancing. I'm not sure, but
And theater and
theater.
restaurants.
Yes.
And people were having fun. But for several years, this was just a parking lot.
Yes.
Until you came.
Not me, but I actually have made a small lighting design for this small oasis on top of Tivolifjellet. It's overlooking Breiavannet.
Yes.
So we thought the view should be untouched.
This is why you have created benches.
The light underneath the benches
So you can sit here and watch Breiavannet.
and watch Breiavannet. And also we have vertical lighting, no light pollution from the poles. We have some decorative lighting in the fountain, now without water.
Is this like on the city market? You can have several editions.
Yes, as you
This
see
is-
now, it's changing color. It's Tivoli. It's amusement park. That's the theme. We have also the tree behind me. It's very small tree. It was very, very big, nice, beautiful tree standing there. And that's why we think we have to have some color light here so you can see it from the city. Unfortunately, they have to take that tree down. So I think in about 20 years we will have a nice tree with light on it.
But until then,
Until then, we
Yes.
have this small one.
this is very nice.
Yes.
Now we have looked into two of your projects in Stavanger. Do you have some other projects in this region that you would like to tell us about?
Yes, I will like to mention Kaisersplassen in Bryne, city of Bryne, some kilometers south of Stavanger.
Yeah.
Kaisers Orchestra, a famous Norwegian rock group.
Yes.
This was a small square. It's a tribute to Kaisers Orchestra. So what we did there is actually to take elements from the stage. We have moving heads. We have gobos with the logos of Kaisers, and we also have an interactivity. So, as you know, Kaisers Orchestra use oil drums on stage.
Yes.
So we have 11 oil drums on this square, all lit inside. This is kind of a secret, but I'll tell it to you.
Okay.
So if you come to this square and you see all these barrels, the oil drums, two of them are lit up green inside. So if you go towards that drum and hit it, you will see that the moving heads react and swivel around and focus on you.
Wow.
And if you keep on hitting this drum, you will see that the whole square is flashing in the rhythm you hit the drum. And a lot of things happen, and after a short while, suddenly you hear a hissing sound, and a lot of smoke comes out of the oil drums, like on the
And
stage.
suddenly it becomes quiet.
And then it's quiet, it doesn't work anymore, the drums are not longer green. Until next time it's green, then you can do it again.
But what is also nice to mention is that you actually received a prize for this place.
Yes, we received an award from LUCI in Norway for the best outdoor
in
project.
2019.
In 2019,
Yes.
best
Congratulations.
outdoor. Thank you. Thank you.
Halvor, our trip has come to an end.
Yes,
Thank you very much for bringing me.
it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. It's been very, very nice and interesting.